Paul, thanks for joining us
it's
today.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
How frustrated were you as a management team when 8 minutes into a match on Saturday, all your plans go out the window?
Well, it's difficult. It's a test, you know, but it's one that you have to stand up to. And it was disappointing on two fronts. Number one, because we went down to 10 men, but number two, because Sam's such a huge part of what we're doing at the moment. He's been playing fantastically well in a number of positions, and I went from his control on the edge of the box, I was going, that is absolutely flipping heck, you know, to that all in a split second. And so it was disappointing, but I've got to say, I think the way that the team responded to it, to the challenge, and dug in and did the basics well in terms of defending. And, you know, certainly in the first half, you know, we created one or two chances as well. So we were disappointed, but really pleased at the same time.
I mean, that is the great positive that came out. There's been one or two people saying that there was not the greatest atmosphere in the dressing room, and everybody pulled together and worked hard to get that point.
I think so. I don't think I've heard that criticism, but certainly spirit is essential in any team. You know, Manchester United are the perfect example of that. You know, and to get a spirit, sometimes you can't just click your fingers and say, I want this to be this, this and this. It has to be earned by management and bought into by players, and slowly certain things are starting to take shape.
When you talk about the philosophy that you've brought into the club, how pleased are you after the few weeks you've been here? Things seem to be falling more into place for you now, and the fans can see what they call the green shoots of recovery. Yeah,
I think I've noticed big differences since the last time we spoke. You know, I said I was pleased with the way the players have gone about their business, and but certainly I've seen massive changes in players' demeanour, the way they're responding to what we want, and buying into that. You know, it's all right us saying we'd like this and we'd like that, but you know, we have to earn that right as well. You know, people have to start believing in what we're doing. So, and slowly, you know, I don't. I'm a builder. I've spent my life in development, so you know, I'm used to taking my time, if you know what I mean. But it's, you know, some things happen at different speeds.
So we go on to the game against Derby, and big club wanting a big result. Lost here, they'll be up for what we would call revenge. But how difficult will it be for us, given the fact that we'll be fatigued and it's so close after playing with 10 men?
Well, I think you're right in the first place. It's going to be a difficult game no matter what. And but we feel that we're getting better at handling back-to-back games in a short space of time. Derby have just moved into the playoff positions, so they have a little bit extra to fight for. So whichever way it was going to be, it was going to be a tough game, and so is every game in the Championship.
How are we looking injury-wise? Is Peter Atebo fit again?
Oh, Peter and Sam are both making progress, and we're going to have a look at them tomorrow. They've done really well, and we've been pleased with the way they've reacted and got on with things. And
we're keeping clean sheets now, so obviously the next thing is to score more goals. But a lot of fans are saying that there isn't a great deal to play for the rest of this season. I'm sure you don't think that. And how difficult is it to motivate players in the squad if they feel that way?
Well, number one, I don't see that in the squad. You know, results, as you quite rightly say, are based on clean sheets, and then you have to, hopefully you get goals, and clean sheets give you the base to do that. We look to me as more solid, and we're trying to get more creativity to move alongside that. You know, you saw many of our creative players on Saturday put in a real shift in defensive work to enable us to get a result. Now we want that sort of commitment, and with the skills they've got, they need to help us turn that into goals, which turns games into wins.
And lastly from me, you've talked about being a builder. We've got a lot of younger players who everybody thinks are now on the verge of maybe getting a run out or getting on the bench or being part of the first team squad. Is there any chance of that happening in the coming weeks?
There's every chance. You know, we're getting the opportunity now to look a little bit more closely at what's coming underneath, and so there's every chance that could happen. We have to bear in mind that we are not making it. We don't want to make this season look like it's fizzling out. We're keen to win as many games as we possibly can between now and the end of the season, and the balance has to be struck. But we're seeing more and more of that. Those players currently playing at under 23 and training with us now on a more regular basis.
Thank you. Good luck.
Derby County may be sixth, but the form is fairly unpredictable, it has to be said. Stoke's form at the moment is 5 unbeaten and only conceded 2 goals. Do you think that gives Stoke the upper hand in this game?
I wouldn't have thought so. You may have drawn that conclusion if Derby had had a different result and not nicked into the playoffs over the weekend. But I think that gives them an extra incentive to get about their business. But you know, we have got to reach the stage where the opposition are respected but not feared, and our style of play impacts upon the opposition and not the other way around. So that's what we're trying to aim for.